Hello everyone, friends! In this video I'll show you basic watercolor techniques which I used for transparent and botanical painting. And we'll start reviewing our techniques on cellulose paper. We have 3 of them. Let's start with the first, most basic one. It's called wet and dry watercolor wash. This technique involves applying paint evenly in a smooth, even layer. Look how well I diluted our watercolor with water. It has the consistency of tea. For convenience, you can tilt the sheet slightly. This way the watercolor will fall down and the paint will not dry until the next stroke. Now I'll be silent for a moment so that you can watch my hand closely. Let's try it. The next technique is called layering or glazing. This technique allows you to work with tone in a composition. Now, with the help of 2 sheets of paper, you can understand what tone is. This technique consists of applying a new layer of paint to a previously dried first layer. Let's try it. And when our layer of watercolor has dried, we apply the next layer. Let it dry. Let's add more layer. And we come to a third important watercolor technique. Personally, I call it from dark to light or going to zero. This technique involves creating a smooth gradient from color to a blank sheet. You'll see, on cellulose paper our paint layer is uneven. This is due to the properties of cellulose paper. So in a second part of this video I will show you all these techniques on cotton paper. Because painting with watercolors on cotton paper is the key to a successful result. And I start from wet on wet watercolor wash. This technique involves pre-moisturizing the paper with clean water. I didn't show this technique in the first part of a video because this technique simply doesn't work on cellulose paper. And only after we have moistened our paper we begin to introduce paint. See how convenient it is to move and level the paint while our sheet is still wet. Let it dry. This technique is used when painting large areas or when you need to smoothly introduce two different shades. The next technique you already know is wet on dry watercolor wash. Only here I paint on cotton paper and you can see the difference in the result. I use this technique when I need to paint small areas of a drawing. Now we can compare both techniques. In my opinion, that on that technique has a more gentle effect. Let's move on to a next technique, and this is layering. And here you will see a big difference in the result. Cotton paper is simply made for this technique, while cellulose practically does not work with it. Cotton paper can be painted with many layers of watercolor. And this technique helped me work with tone in the drawing. And we came to the last technique. This is the exit to zero. I use this technique when I want to show the rotation of the shape of an object. In the same way, I create a falling and own shadows. Today I showed you 3 main techniques that I use for painting with watercolor. You also saw a difference when you're working with cellulose and cotton paper. I hope my tutorial was useful for you and you will enjoy painting with watercolors.